Roach. Roach.
Don't touch Roach.
Don't touch Roach.
Can't do that.
No. Hi and welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben and this is
Kate.
And today we are reviewing The Witcher, the Netflix original TV series based on the books. The Witcher, Geralt, a mutated monster hunter, struggles to find his place in a world in which people often prove more wicked than beasts. So The Witcher has 8 episodes. There are more seasons coming. Each episode is about an hour long and Henry Cavill plays Geralt of Rivia and his voice definitely sounds like Doug Cockle from the games. But the episodes are based on the books. So if you're a fan of the games, don't be surprised that the story is very different or something that you didn't know that was coming. We're going to have multiple people from different walks of life, people who haven't seen or don't know anything, much like yourself.
Yep.
And people who like the games, and people who like the books, and people who like the books and games. And I think this is going to appeal to a vast majority of people, and I'd be surprised if you don't like this.
That's it.
That's it. That's our
done.
review. Okay,
Okay, bye.
see ya. Bye. One of the things that struck us first was the epicness.
Yeah.
I guess that's a word. When we were talking about this earlier, we felt like it was it. People said, "I bet this is going to be Game of Thrones for Netflix," and that was like a thing that people just said because
Did they?
yeah, because Game of Thrones is finished, and so
But that's what I said.
and that's
I didn't
what you
know other
said.
people said it.
Yeah, loads of people said it.
Okay.
And I thought, well, that's funny that you said that because this really is like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
In the sense that it's a well-crafted storyline, but it has like vast landscapes and shots and big battles, very complicated storylines, but it's shown in a way that you can kind of understand, especially if you're coming from a place of where you know nothing about the world of The Witcher.
I know nothing about The Witcher. I've never read any of the books. I have not played the game. However, I have seen you play the game when walking through the room, and I know a bit about Geralt of Rivia. Even if you come at this knowing nothing about the world of The Witcher, it's confusing.
Don't judge me.
Hang on a minute. I think we've gone back in time. Oh, no,
Yeah.
wait. Where are we in time now? Because now this is 30 years ahead. No, now we're back there. This is before that even happened. And then we're showing something else that happened sort of in the middle. And then I'm just like,
Yeah, there is an issue with timeline. So all of it looks fantastic and the way they're telling the story is great, but normally when you're hopping between timelines you have a little bit of like information, subtitles, this is blah 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 and this is blah blah blah, and they don't do that in this. You kind of have to just catch up. There is a reason why they're doing that, because the stories kind of flow into each other in different timelines and they meet, and you understand that, but that only comes later.
Yeah, so I think if you're feeling a little bit confused in the first half of the season, don't worry.
One of the things I was concerned about was the fighting sequences and whether Henry Cavill could actually portray the character of Geralt of Rivia, because he's so kind of cemented in my mind, and that's just from playing the games. And I know people who have said, no, Henry could never play Henry Cavill. Henry could never play Henry Cavill.
Henry could never play himself.
Yay, brain. He couldn't play Geralt of Rivia because they just didn't see him. That wasn't the description that they understood from the books, and so there was a lot of hoo-ha. Hoo-ha with who, I guess the showrunner, Lauren K. Hesrich, I think that's how you kind of pronounce her name, as they started showing us or telling us who they had chosen to be those characters, there was a lot of people going, no, I don't like that. I can't picture that actor as one of my favorite, characters from the books or the games. But I'm happy to say, at least with Geralt, that I really feel like he's taken on the character himself. And when it comes to the fighting sequences, he's fantastic.
He is good.
You can just breathe a sigh of relief, because the movements, the swinging of the sword, the flow of it, the choreography, all looks
beautiful,
really well done.
Yeah.
And at the same time, Geralt hasn't, for me, what I know as Geralt, hasn't lost that... there's that kind of dry humor, the way he responds to situations or people in conversation, which is very lackluster because he doesn't often have a lot of dialogue. He's very moody, very gruff, but sometimes the stuff he says, the way he responds is really funny. You had that in the games, you have that in the books, I believe, and now we have that in the series, and that's carried across really well.
Yeah, really good. The colour palette, the way that it's filmed, the cinematography, the lighting, it's all really beautiful, and that's again what kind of reminded, stop it, cat, he just wants to nibble me. It reminded me of Game of Thrones because it's sort of very epic and very cinematic It's when we watched the first episode, I said to Ruben, I feel like I've just watched a movie. Like there was so much in it.
Yeah, each
and
episode
it's really
is an hour long.
entertaining and really enthralling.
Feels like a feature.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the best things, again, about this series is the score. So it's very atmospheric. It's very... It feels authentic to the period, the fantasy period, although we don't have, it's not real. But what you would imagine to go along with that, it feels right. It just feels like a fantasy epic. When I'm playing the games, it feels fantasy epic, and it's very familiar to me in theme and tone of what they've created in the series. So I really liked it. I remember saying to Kirsten just at the end of the first episode, I was like, "Yay, it's good." Because although I didn't think I was not worried about it, there is a sense of, please don't ruin one of my favorite stories of all time. And for me, at least, I think it's really good. I like what they've done. I know there's more seasons to come. So if this does well, we will get another 3 or 4. I'm not going to spoil any of the kind of the main plot points, but
any of the plot points. Just not going to talk about what happens.
We're not going to talk about what happens because I want the fan base and everybody to really enjoy it. But we will do a spoiler review if you want in a couple of days when it's kind of had most of everybody watch it over the weekend. I guess a lot of people are going to binge this.
Oh, yeah.
I think if you were just worried and you wanted to watch a review going, is this any good? Do they do a good job? Then for me, yes. I am concerned that if you are a massive, massive diehard fan of the books, that there may be character interpretations that you will not get on with. Because I've noticed myself, I know a little bit about the books, and the characters are a little different. They've chosen to do their own thing, although they've also taken what they wanted from the books to kind of correlate to a series. But what you have to keep in mind is you can't always correlate everything. There are choices that they've had to make to change to suit TV. So you can't always take everything, and you can't always please everybody. So I think there will be those that might not enjoy every aspect of this. For me, I thought it's epic. Yeah. It's exactly what I wanted. It's fantasy adventure. When you see Geralt's eyes go like that, I was like, potion time. Yeah. The monsters are mostly great. You had one negative to say about...
I did have one negative about the very opening scene. For me, it felt a little unrealistic, but it's probably also because you're thrust into that fantasy genre without any sort of foreplay. Do you know what I mean? It's like you suddenly have to believe this thing.
Yeah.
And so maybe it just took my mind a moment to adjust. And there was just a moment where I was like, oh, that's like CGI.
Yeah.
But it only got better from there.
Yeah, it did.
It really did. And I'm not invested in this world at all. So, Ruben was like, he's like, okay, we're watching The Witcher tomorrow, and you cannot talk, and you mustn't interrupt me. And he was like, and just let me just escape into this world. And I was like, okay. I wasn't sure that I was really going to enjoy it as much as Ruben does, but I am very pleased to say that I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's awesome. So I'm going to give this an A. Mm-hmm. What are you going to give it?
A.
Yeah. If you want us to do a spoiler review, let us know. But that's kind of our capture of what we've experienced with The Witcher. I'm glad to say that I've enjoyed it, and you've enjoyed it.
I have, and Loki keeps trying to push you away.
Yeah, don't talk to me. Talk to the hand.
Go away.
Thanks so much for watching our review, but most of all, until next time, remember,
live long and Tuesday.